Business 200, Principles of Marketing. We're going to go over Chapter 12. So we're still in Unit 3, which is Reaching Your Customer, and this is Chapter 12, Retailing. This is a really long chapter, so I may be skipping through and rushing through some things so that we can try to stay under 20 minutes if possible. Here are your learning objectives. Here's your executive perspective. All right, so the practice of retailing encompasses all of the business activities involved in the sales of goods and services to the ultimate customer for their personal, family, or household use. Here is a figure showing the increase in retail sales over the last 25 years. And here is a graph showing what kind of retail spending we're doing. All right, so what is retailing and why is it important? So we've got increasingly global and dynamic, rise of commercial internet, the business to consumer, and the consumer to consumer commerce. There's lots of careers in retailing. Here is a graph showing the global retail sales projections up to 2020. Supply chain and logistics. So here's an example from Nike on supply chain managers. So common self-service activities are locating items and checking out without the help of a store employee. Specialty stores such as Tiffany and high-end department stores like Nordstrom and Neiman Marcus and boutiques are examples of full-service retailers. Limited service falls somewhere in between the two extremes and would include the majority of retailers. For instance, department stores like JCPenney or big box stores like Best Buy would typically be considered limited service retail operations. And here's an example of self-service checkout at Home Depot. So corporate chains are two or more retail outlets that are commonly owned and controlled. One result of this movement is the emergence of the retailer cooperative, which is a group of independent retailers that band together to set up a jointly owned central wholesale operation that also conducts joint merchandising and promotion. Retailers such as Independent Grocers Alliance, IGA, Western Auto, and Do It Best hardware stores are part of another form of independent retailer alliance called voluntary chain. In a business format franchise relationship, the franchisor provides to the franchisee not just its trade name, products, and services, but an entire system for operating the business. In a product distribution franchise arrangement, the focus is not on the system of doing business, but is instead based on the franchisee gaining preferred and exclusive access to the products manufactured or supplied by the franchisor. Here's a retailer cooperative, Napa. Here's Batteries and Bulbs, which is a franchise. Retailers may also be classified by merchandise assortment or mix. An assortment is a selection of merchandise a retailer carries. It includes both the breadth of product categories and the depth of product lines offered within each category. The breadth of assortment refers to the number of distinct goods and services product lines that a retailer carries. A depth of assortment refers to the number of individual items offered within a single product line. Many retailers seek to increase their breadth of assortment via scrambled merchandising, adding goods and services that may be unrelated to each other and to the firm's original business. The distribution of retailers along a price continuum follows a bell curve. Most retailers offer standard pricing accompanied by moderate levels of service. Types of retail stores. There's full-line discount stores. They carry a wide assortment of merchandise across popular categories. There's some full-line discount stores have expanded facilities to a supercenter format, which includes grocery, pharmacy services like Target or Walmart. A specialty discount store offers a wide selection of merchandise within a single category. Specialty discount stores are sometimes referred to as category killers because they are able to gain high market share within their chosen category, such as Best Buy and Home Depot. Over the past decade, there have been significant shifts in the way families approach meals and how people think about food. Also, more people are conscious of the food that they put in their bodies. In particular, millennials are very knowledgeable about food and place great emphasis on freshness and locally sourced foods. Supermarkets and grocery stores have responded to these market changes, introducing numerous innovations and time-saving offerings. So then we also have warehouse clubs such as Sam's or Costco. We have convenience stores. They're small service stores that are open long hours and carry a limited number of frequently purchased items. Whoops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Just talked about warehouse clubs and convenience stores. We'll move on to the next spot. So here is an example of Costco, one of our warehouse clubs. And then a convenience store, Sheetz. I've never heard of them, so I don't know if there's one nearby or not. So drugstores are specialty retailers that concentrate on selling over-the-counter and prescription pharmaceutical products, as well as health products, personal grooming, and general merchandise. Department stores carry a wide variety of product lines, with each line operated as a separate department, managed by specialist merchandisers and buyers, such as Kohl's. Moving on. This shows you how much drugstore sales have increased since 1992. And this is showing how department store sales have declined since 1992. Here's an example of a lease department partnership, such as JCPenney. All right, types of retail stores. We've got specialty stores. This is a store that concentrates on selling one line of goods or services, such as jewelry, tea, batteries, tools, young women's apparel, hairdressing. Usually carries a narrow but deep merchandise assortment and tailors its strategy to specific market segment. And then there's fast fashion. Refers to the rapid translation of high fashion design trends by lower cost manufacturer retailers, such as H&M or Forever 21. And here's an example of a fast fashion retailer, H&M. All right, moving on to more types of retail stores. The global economic downturn in the late 2000s helped create a generation of price-conscious shoppers. As a result, two retail formats have experienced great success in recent years: are off-price and extreme value retailers. So off-price retailers feature brand names, merchandise bought at less than regular wholesale prices and sold at less than retail prices. And then extreme value retailers are heirs to the traditional Main Street five and dime variety store from decades past. An example of extreme value is dollar discount stores or Family Dollar. Service retailers are intangible, typically involving the sale of mechanical or human knowledge and effort rather than merchandise. An example of those are movie theaters. And here's showing changes in U.S. Retail open store counts by category from over the past 10 years. And then here's an example of a service retailer. Online retailing, also known as e-retailing, is business-to-consumer electronic commerce in which individual consumers directly buy goods and services over the internet. Two of Mr. Bezos' guiding principles for the firm, which is Amazon, is number one, thinking for the long term, and number two, always putting the customer first. So here is an example of a service retailer, Amazon. Moving on, we've got catalog marketing. Is a retail sales technique used to group many items together in a printed piece or an online store, such as LL Bean or Land's End. With lineups of trusted celebrities and changing array of new merchandise, shop-at-home television networks have become very popular form of non-store based retailing, such as QVC or HSN. We've also got automatic vending. It's the most impersonal form of retailing. Direct retail sales representatives often introduce their products via some sort of party or event at the home of a customer. And according to the World Federal of Direct Selling Associations, direct selling organizations accounted for 2017 global sales of $189.6 billion through the activities of more than 117 million independent sales representatives. That is significant. Here's an example of automatic vending. Then we've got the retail marketing strategy. Marketing strategy for retail is unique. Average amount of single sales transactions is typically well under $100 per visitor. It's complicated by the fact that retail landscape shifts rapidly. Retailer operational efficiency. Many retailers struggle with operational efficiencies. Evaluate warehouse layout, monitor product inventories, and monitor point of sales data. Retail managers must take into account a number of considerations when making site location decisions, such as population characteristics, traffic congestion, and other transportation infrastructure issues, parking availability, distance to major housing communities, employers, and business districts. Here is an example of a planned shopping center. Store image refers to how consumers perceive a retailer. Crafting and maintain a distinct, favorable received store image does not happen by accident, and it involves a thoroughly managed and ongoing process. Atmospherics refers to sensory-based stimuli within the retailer's environment. The sights, sounds, smells, and other attributes that project an image and draw customers to the store. Many supermarkets, drugstores, and convenience stores employ a gridiron traffic flow pattern in which display and aisles are laid out in a rectangular grid. Department stores often encourage more of a curving traffic flow, placing aisles and display in more of a free-flowing pattern. Some retailers utilize a combination of these approaches in their designs. And then product arrangement is so critical in some retail environments that manufacturers are often willing to pay slotting allowances to the retailers. These are payments that ensure products are preferentially displayed by the retailer. Here is an example of online product arrangement. Retailers should align its merchandising approach with the needs of its target market customers, its marketing position, its internal capabilities, and the strengths of its supplier network. Here's the professional. Okay, here's the professional. Retailer apocalypse. So retailer debt from store overexpansion and the residual effects of the Great Recession on consumer spending habits have contributed to the decline of some retailers. Industry experts have even termed this phenomenon the retail apocalypse. Most traditional brick and mortar or physical store retailers have introduced online and mobile e-commerce websites. Recognizing the macro environmental trends that have reshaped consumer preferences and expectations, retailers have sought to integrate customer experiences across the physical and online channels, a practice called omni-channel retailing. Leading retail brands today realize that their long-term survival and success depend on creating effective and engaging omni-channel customer experiences. And here is an example of Walmart's Pickup Grocery. Order online and pick up here. 21st century retailing. So customer journey map is a visual representation of the process of a customer or prospect goes through to achieve a goal with a company. This technique helps retail managers identify points in their customer's journey where that process breaks down. Using this information, retailers are better able to design customer or experiences that move the consumer from awareness and discovery to purchase, use, and advocacy of a good or service. Consumers are increasingly seeking unique and exciting experiences both online and in brick and mortar store environments. And here are some examples of retail technology that's helping customers have these experiences. Geofencing enables brands to target mobile customers within a specific geographic area. Here's an example of augmented reality from IKEA. Then we have artificial intelligence. Walmart uses robots to monitor price tags and missing items on the shelf. There's cashierless stores. There's an Amazon Go store. Voice activation technology with Google Home or Siri to buy items. More artificial intelligence. Oh, there we go. This is the end of chapter 12.